Hi everyone, welcome to the official Doctor Who podcast.
That's right. I'm Nadia Jae and I am your regular Nuvian.
And I'm Shabaz, your regular Whovian.
That's right. Okay, so this is the place for all your Doctor Who needs.
Spoiler alert, we're talking all things Boom. So go watch it on BBC iPlayer if you're in the UK and go watch it on Disney Plus where available. Watch it first, then come back. You've been warned.
All right, we're back and so are the Who crew. Make some noise. We need a guest. We need to talk all the things. Are we ready?
Mm.
Oh, nice. Guys, can we please make some noise for stand-up comedian and fan of the show? It's Aidan. Hello.
Ed, how was that materialising?
Extremely painful.
Really?
Oh.
Yeah.
Right, so listen, Ed, you're here, you're a fan of the show, as Nadia said. What's the one thing you're looking forward to discussing today?
The whole episode.
Everything.
I loved it so much. I can't possibly choose one instant over the other.
Okay.
Every second of that episode was like a dear child to me.
Oh, very
Lovely.
poetic. Well, we do have some bits we want to get into. We've got to talk about the minefield, of course.
We've got to talk about the Doctor and Ruby nearly dying.
Yeah, we do. The cylinder-shaped urns and the AI holograms.
The villain god, who are they? What's their algorithm about?
Absolutely. The snow appears again, much to your dismay.
Ruby is clearly someone special and has some sort of power.
100%. So we've got to get into that. And plus, we have a special sneak peek of the next episode, 73 Yards. And the one and only, my bestie, your bestie, everyone's bestie. We've got Russell T Davies, the one and only, dropping some tantalising breadcrumbs. Because if you're going to have breadcrumbs, they've got to be tantalising, Ed.
Absolutely.
This is it.
Absolutely.
And he's going to share with us what's coming up on the next episode. We are so excited.
So I think we should start where it all began, the minefield. Let's remind ourselves of that.
I need you to describe to me what I'm standing on. Fairly sure I know, but details are important. I can't risk looking down. The sensors are on hair trigger.
Why hasn't it set off already when you stepped on it?
Impact activates the sensors. Now it's confirming if there's a live target on it. One wrong move and boom.
Oh.
Fantastic stuff.
So he's always
Right.
getting himself into trouble, isn't it?
Always in a
Guy.
pickle, our Doctor.
Because you've watched a lot of the episodes, all of the episodes.
Yeah.
Really, I'm going to say super fan.
I'm crazy about this alien, let me tell you. When the episode started, I thought, this is a pretty long set piece. We've got a lot of episode to go. And I was delighted to realise that we were going to stay there for the whole
Yeah.
thing.
Yes, he was standing on that
I
mine.
thought it was fantastic.
Yeah.
It was a really great, a really tight little bottle episode. And I thought it's a really cool conceit to have him be standing on a mine the whole time. It gives you that great, like, Doctor Who ticking clock, you know. And, you know, we always know he's going to get out of it at the end. I thought it would have been crazy if
he blew up.
If they just all blown up.
I
Yeah,
wish
that would have been brilliant.
See, me and you had the brilliant mind, because I said this to Nadia. I was like, I really wanted to.
No
if
one
they-
wanted him to go.
they
No, I
ended-
didn't want him to like blow up, but I kind of wanted him to blow the whole planet up.
It would be really brave if they ended Doctor Who forever on episode 3.
Imagine.
Don't.
Oh my
Don't.
gosh.
Oh my God, that put us out of a
That would've been
job.
amazing,
That put, I want him to live as long
I
as
tell you
possible.
what, I actually thought about it. Like, Shooty's just stood there the whole time, and it made me really nervous. I felt like I was holding my core every time I saw him, because I felt like I was actually in the episode and I wasn't able to move either.
It's really well directed and well acted.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You've landed on a new planet here.
They have.
Right? The thing is, Ruby's reaction, what do you make of it? Obviously,
I quite like moments like that though with Ruby, because it reminds you that she's actually a human being.
human,
Clearly on a journey with a whole Doctor, and it's like,
I mean, I
actually-
don't think she's human, but you know.
Listen,
We
for-
pause that for a second.
we'll
I'm
get
fighting
there.
for Ruby.
Telling you. So the next thing, right, and this is grim, cylinder-shaped urns or caskets. Let's remind ourselves of them.
Tell me what you're not telling me.
Okay. Okay, that isn't an urn. There isn't a body inside of that. That is a body. That is a dead body. Compressed somehow, like it's been, I don't know, smelted?
Seriously?
Oh my God, because it knocks me sick, and it's right over there.
Wow.
The cylinder-shaped urns.
Star of the show.
Should I bring her over?
Oh, don't.
Yeah.
It's got
And
an
she's
eye
here
on
tonight,
it.
folks.
And she's here tonight.
Is that the Scottish chap from the end of the episode?
It is him.
Yeah.
Could we talk about him really quickly?
Yeah, absolutely.
I think
we can.
he maybe perhaps took the most L's of any Doctor Who
100%.
Yeah.
character in history.
Absolutely.
Look at the
He started off on the back foot, didn't he?
Poor guy. He admits romantic attraction to his comrade in arms. Then he gets blown up by a Tonka truck.
Yeah.
And then that truck plays a message about
about how
whipped he is.
how much he loved her.
That's so big.
It's so, you know the prop, right?
Right.
From all the props that Doctor Who's had, that has got to be one of the grimmest. I mean, we've seen bogies and all sorts of nonsense this season. That is grim. There's an ear on it.
I think that's
Where's the
fantastic.
ear?
I think it's such great.
Oh, there it is.
Like legacy Doctor Who like prop making. It's such a
Meant to make
it like slicker TV shows. You wouldn't. It would never get
It
through
would never-
compliance
no,
to be
it
like,
wouldn't.
what if we crushed all the characters into a tube?
because it's all
Do you
congealed.
think that I was scared of like Maestro, but this is right up my street? Is mad.
So, Nadia, speaking of villains, because I know you don't like Maestro, but we got a different kind of villain, innit? We got the villain guard. They've got villain in the name, automated ambulance unit. Let's remind ourselves.
Contact detected. Contact detected. Contact detected. Contact detected. Contact detected. Patient acquired. Ship scratch.
What are your thoughts, Ed?
Well, Villain Guard have been in the show before.
Yeah.
It's good to have
Yeah.
them back. Pretty classic Moffat script, you know, like the New Planet, quick pop at the military-industrial complex.
Yeah.
A mainframe gets hacked with the power of love, and then
The power of love. I
yeah,
love that.
that's it really. I think it's sort of it reminds me a lot of Oxygen, the episode where like the air is rationed.
Opening the airlock was the station's plan A. Plan B, filtering out all the oxygen.
So they can sell it back to us.
Capitalism in space. If we want to keep breathing, we have exactly one option. Buy the merchandise.
It's an interesting twist rather than like a finger-tenting, chin-stroking baddie of the week, you know?
Yeah.
Something you just said, an interesting twist, Ed.
Now, come on, we'll get
Come
there.
on, Ed.
We'll get there.
Give me the
Come on.
twist.
Susan Twist is also in this episode again.
Right, listen to this now.
Fourth time
I'm ready-
now.
I'm-
Susan Twist.
I saw her. She's in the ambulance. She's the face of the ambulance. I thought, there's Susan Twist again.
Right.
Forums are going to go crazy about this.
Just tell us
Where
what
we saw
Susan
Susan.
Twist. So you've seen her again. What do you mean again?
She was in Wild Blue Yonder. She was Isaac Newton's maid or something.
Mm-hmm.
She was in she was dancing about in the church in Ruby Road.
She was also in Space Babies as one of the crew members who made a video log.
She was also in last week's episode.
Yeah, serving
Episode
tea.
2, serving tea. Mm-hmm. Either someone in the casting department has been hitting themselves in the head with a frying pan after every
Yeah,
episode.
forgetting. Yeah.
Okay.
Or I think we're in for another Russell T
We're
Davies
in for it.
breadcrumbing.
Okay.
We're all being breadcrumbed and we don't even know about it.
We've got a twist, a Susan
Yeah,
twist.
we do.
Yeah, I like that. That's really interesting because nothing is by accident.
No.
Nothing is by accident.
It's so brilliant that you can have such a creative universe in the world where you've got a mind that can conceive of people being turned into flesh cubes in front of their own children or whatever, but your father's character's surname is Mr. Father. That's brilliant.
Mr.
Yes.
Father, yeah.
That's awesome. Well done, Stephen Moffat.
Yeah.
But
Did
he's-
that.
It's getting towards 5 o'clock when he came out with that character.
He was like, oh, do you know what? I've had a long day. Just let's call the father. You know, like having a dog called dog.
Yeah,
I know,
that's
it's
it.
brilliant. But he actually saved the day, didn't he? The AI saved the day. Now, here's the thing. Obviously, the whole episode centers around this idea of AI being the bad
Almost
guy.
a bad guy and a good guy, though.
But was the AI a good guy? Because obviously it had human element to it.
This is also something that Steven Moffat seems to be pretty obsessed with himself. I mean, like the Silence in the Library 2-part all centers around.
Love that episode.
It's so good, but it all centers around like a limited AI spiriting people away, and
Yeah.
everyone thinks they're dead and stuff like that.
Yeah.
So it's clearly something that weighs on his mind quite a lot.
He must, that's really interesting that you say that because I think he must, if I was a director, I would make everybody a bad guy, right? Literally all the combatants
that
are bad
impression.
guys.
Yeah, I was
you know
gonna
what I
say
mean? So
he
let's
is
be
gonna
honest.
die on
So I
the
think
field.
there is a theme. I think, with the Moffat theme is this idea of AI and this conflict between can AI really be... Because, there's a lot of conversation around it, especially currently about AI being the bad guy.
Yeah.
But I don't think you can humanize a computer. Like, I don't think there's possible to
I think
humanize an algorithm,
that's
is there?
sort of the point of the episode, I guess. There's always often like romance B plots in his episodes. There was in this one, and it's all sort of about like this very kind of romantic idea of some kind of, you know, spark of the divine humanness or sentience that sets you apart from the cold calculation of like spreadsheets and algorithms. Again, we go back to oxygen. We'll never be able to replace.
We won't be able to do that.
AI, John.
Like we will never, humans, as there is this thing of like, they're in the 52nd century, there's brand new stuff, but ultimately, like you said, love wins. You know what I mean?
It's so
it's not
at the end where she's got a hologram replicant of her dad.
Yeah, and she's happy with that because let's be honest, I was
Well, what did she say? It was so sweet. She said something like,
dead, but he's not gone.
He's dead, but he's not gone.
I couldn't figure
that's
out
cute.
if she. I couldn't figure out if she meant like, oh, he's dead, but like he's not gone because, you know, I'm an Anglican and I have faith.
Oh.
Or I have his flesh.
Yeah,
as in like
forever. I'm actually half cylinder. My dad was
Half cylinder. All right, so guys, I'm going to change the tone and we're going to speak about Shabaz's favourite person. We're going to talk about Ruby, all right? My favourite. Let's talk about her in this episode. Was she fearless? Was she dependable? Was she resourceful? Let's remind ourselves.
Let me give it to you.
No.
You'll have a much better chance if I just put it in your hand.
If it goes wrong, you will be caught in the blast.
Well, let's get it right then.
Ruby, I forbid this.
Yeah, good luck with that.
You don't understand. This is a smart mind. It is monitoring anything. Any significant change, I get too worried about you and my blood pressure goes up. And I don't know how much leeway I have.
Best not to worry then. So how are we going to do this? Count to 3?
Please listen to me.
No arguing, Doctor. Blood pressure.
Ruby, this doesn't work. You are brave. And you are wonderful. And I forgive you for being incredibly stupid.
This is the thing, right? Is she more, and I'm getting really stressed about this.
God.
Is she more than a companion? She's got her own power. She makes it snow when she's upset.
I think it's really interesting.
I love it.
It reminded me a lot of another Steven Moffat episode, Twice Upon a Time, where the snow stops when something really important is about to happen that could change the course of history. When the first Doctor
And it
doesn't
did
want to
stop.
regenerate, it stops. And this happens briefly in this episode when it looks like Ruby is also about to. So maybe Ruby seems like it's going to be like a very
Time Lord.
pivotal moment in
100%.
history.
Do you think
know?
she could be a Time Lord?
I have no idea.
Because we
I
nearly
think she
saw
might
her
be an
die.
actress.
She might be not in real life. Yeah. Do you know what?
Sorry.
I thought she was gonna. I know this is really awful, and I love Ruby because let me first thing say first,
Yeah.
right? I love that she's Northern.
Love that.
And
Yeah.
Northerners, we don't care about the rules,
So
right?
she is fearless.
We do not care. We will throw. Are you telling me a Northerner not to come to you because you're stood on a landmine? If we're blowing up together, love.
Yeah.
Absolutely not. But the thing
Yeah,
is,
that's the famous Yorkshire hospitality.
There you go. Yeah, there
when
it
you go
is.
up there, they go,
There
we're
it
blowing
is.
up, blowing
My
up together.
cousins, he's always calling me a London softie because I won't stand on a landmine.
Landmine, yeah,
how
absolutely.
dare
You listen, that's what.
He says, and the water tastes wrong.
But yeah, so here's the thing. I honestly keep coming back to this because first things first, I really need Ruby to be a bad guy. But I'll tell you why. It's my own personal thing. I think it's so different. I think the idea of like the Doctor really falling, because they have such a nice chemistry already.
Yeah.
For you to find out that actually not only is it a stab in the Doctor's back,
Yeah.
but it's a stab in your lot's back.
You lots.
You know what I mean? I think there's
Yeah.
something
I
nice
tell you
about that.
It'd be interesting.
But what is it? What is it about Ruby then? What is she? Is she a Time Lord?
I tell you
Is she
what
3,000 years
I
old?
do find a bit uncomfortable is that she doesn't listen.
I love that.
And I think that there is a weird, and I won't say weird, it's an interesting dynamic where the Doctor is almost like, she's like a ticking time bomb. We don't really know what she's going to do. The Doctor's like, I'll forgive you for your stupidity. And she's like, wow, she's just full of banter and it's a bit like, hun, do you know, I almost want the fourth wall to be like, hello, Ruby, we're stuck on a landmine here, hun. Things are really going to go pear-shaped if you don't listen.
It's a nice. The whole episode is kind of a nice premise for letting for good characterization of the
Yeah.
companion. It's kind of hard to it's hard to get out of the main character's shadow in this show, I think. But to have an episode where the best bits of the companions are always when the Doctor needs them to do something. They have to go out of their comfort zone and be a bit brave and go and do something crazy.
But that's what I mean. She's not out of her comfort zone. Ruby's not feeling uncomfortable.
She doesn't feel uncomfortable.
That's a good point.
And that's what I'm trying to say. The dynamic is actually the Doctor makes me more uncomfortable than Ruby does.
But I think she is uncomfortable.
Why? Because he was standing on one leg?
Well, no, he was like on the regular. It's like, we said it, we've said it before. It's like she's the Gen Z and he's the millennial. I'm a millennial mind. I look at the Doctor and think that's a millennial. Do you know what I mean? We really think about what's going on. Gen Z are the complete opposite, and that's how I feel about Ruby. Wild, free, anything's anything. It's giving free scared, energy. And I don't want to be scared. And seeing that dynamic with the Doctor and the companion is wild.
That's why she was like coming out of the TARDIS at the start. She was
exactly.
She was on TikTok scrolling.
She's probably on TikTok doing TikToks on the TARDIS.
So she was doing TikToks on the TARDIS.
That's what she was doing.
She's probably doing that, I'd say.
Or sleeping, or being like, listen, I ain't getting up.
Probably, selling stuff on Vinted and going on TikTok.
Absolutely.
Selling her 60s outfit.
And
not me on an alien planet.
That's it. It's giving alien planet.
Giving space.
It's giving space. It's the math ain't mathing, the TARDIS ain't TARDISing.
So dumb.
Not doing it.
And then she realised where the Doctor was.
Yeah. But do you know what it is? I think that obviously we know that there's more to Ruby's storyline, and also like one of the things is the orphan theme keeps coming up as well. Like being adopted is a massive theme throughout the series anyway. But like Maestro, obviously the whole idea between like Maestro not having, the toy maker being their parent.
Yeah.
Ruby
not.
The Doctor's also an orphan,
adopted.
and then Splice is now an orphan.
Oh, yes,
I mean, her dad's in a tube, but technically she's orphan unless I don't know what the future holds, but. Unless you don't, could you class that as a guardian? Because
I mean, I don't think it's going to be rolling down the aisle next to her.
She could be taking it. That's
actually
brilliant.
good.
That's brilliant.
Friggin' hilarious.
Why do you think there's a focus on it though?
I don't know. It's one of those. It's like I remember being a kid and when you're like 7 or 8 and noticing that more than one episode has had Bad Wolf in the background and it blows your mind. It's that same feeling. It's great not knowing. Leave it up to the writers.
So the Doctor eventually works out what's really going on. Let's take a look.
We advertised our presence. It's standard procedure.
Do you hear that, Ruby? They advertised their presence. And do you know what that does? Ruby, that activates the Villengard algorithm, the acceptable casualty rate algorithm. Keeps you dying, keeps you buying. Huh? Do you get it? Do you get it? Do you get it? Do you get it?
I don't know why I was so emotional watching this episode. I don't know what it was. Maybe I was just, just in bed and feeling alone and just like, oh my gosh. But I say that to say, the Doctor just completely told everyone, like, look, this is the revelation. This is what's going on. And actually, you lot have been fighting yourselves. What did you think about that revelation, the way he delivered it?
I thought it was pretty good. I thought it was seeded well throughout the episode. I think he needs to probably start looking at the floor a bit more because this has happened to the Doctor several times. Yeah, I thought it was great. It's your classic kink in the way that you expect things to go. The Doctor's the one who sort of unravels it and explains it. I thought this was quite a good one as these moments of exposition go. It wasn't too difficult to follow. It wasn't dense with sci-fi jargon or anything. It's an interesting. I respect the conceit a lot to make the episode about, like, again, the military industrial complex.
And like we were going to say about faith, like the Doctor's got quite a dim view of religion.
He does.
But one thing he did do towards the end was, although he talks about like faith being the the bad thing and like, oh yeah, because you have your faith. In the end, he does actually have faith in a different sort of way. Because I think the AI thing helped him.
He worships the cylinder now.
He's like, my cylinder gone.
No, you're right. I think he lightens up at the end, doesn't he? I think he feels a bit inspired and.
Yeah, he's a bit low when he's on that landmine.
Yeah, well, wouldn't you
be? He's a bit of a mood, isn't he? Yeah, I think, I thought it was interesting. Again, Moffat seems to have this thing with he seems to really like the idea of the clerics as he devoted 3 entire seasons worth of macro arc to them. I liked the line about that sort of referred to like the Crusades and stuff, where he talks about priests not being soldiers, being a blip. Yeah, I think it's sort of a pretty interesting future sci-fi conceit. I just think it's really funny whenever, like, it's the 51st century and we've still got like priests wearing dog collars. Like,
literally.
I think I always think that's funny. Like, and again, that's kind of the appeal of Doctor Who. It's kind of this, it's big, ambitious sci-fi, but it is still slightly parochial, and I really like that.
But the nice thing that you did find with that episode is it really did develop Ruby and the Doctor's relationship more. So you got to really see. I feel like I take a while to warm up with the Doctor and companion relationship.
Right.
It's happened very quickly. And you're seeing it very, very quickly develop. That's why she can be a bad guy.
I mean, it's...
but anyway, sorry, no.
I think the performances are great. The two actors have very good chemistry. The episodes so far have been directed very well. And this episode is very tightly scripted, and the dialogue is pretty good. So it's like... it's a really good showcase of the two central characters, I think, and the fact that the plot is so stripped down, and we're in the same creator with the same problem for the whole episode really gives them a lot of space to just act and play around.
And you get the
chemistry and stuff.
Like pure emotion.
Yeah, you don't really get that. You wouldn't get that as much if they were just running down a corridor holding hands.
That's literally what I thought. Jumping out of a ship, jumping out of a TARDIS, whatever.
I really liked it.
No,
it's a really interesting episode.
Okay, so next up we have got Dr. Dot. But first of all, before we continue, I think it's time to remind ourselves to stick around because we have got an exciting, exclusive sneak peek of the next Doctor Who episode, 73 Yards. Plus those tantalising breadcrumbs we've been talking about from Mr. Russell T Davies, the boss. He is going to share what he can, doing word can, about the next episode. I can't wait. Let's do Dr. Dot. All right, guys, so this is Dr. Dot. Now, this is the segment where we basically give you guys the information that you might have missed out whilst you were deeply, intensely watching Doctor Who. Speaking of deep and intense, our esteemed expert Whovian, take it away, Shabaz.
That's so much nicer than geek, isn't it?
Yeah.
So, esteemed expert Whovian. Although, do you know what? I had some of these breadcrumbs, right? And then you've kind of like breadcrumbed my breadcrumbs.
You've eaten them, Ed.
You've eaten my
nibbled the breadcrumbs, didn't you?
Do you know what it is?
Ham on one side.
You knew that you were obviously, we knew that you're an expert, so you've actually mentioned some of these. But the first thing was the clerics. Now, we know that, and all of you Whovians at home know that the clerics have appeared in several Steven Moffat stories dating back to the 2010s, which, it's 14 years ago, by the way,
which is scary.
Just saying.
The Weeping Angel.
The Time of Angels and the Flesh and Stone two-parter from the Matt Smith era. My favourite era.
That's your era. That's his era.
Yeah, I love Matt Smith. The clerics are soldiers from the 51st century and are military force of the church in the future, which is what we've discussed today.
We've done that.
Now, the story also heavily features the Velengard Corporation, who are a weapons manufacturer, and we talked about this, which have been mentioned in Doctor Who before. Now, Ed, go and give it to me. When were they mentioned?
It was The Empty Child and the Doctor Dancers.
Yeah. As Ed said, mentioned in 2005's The Empty Child, and then again in Peter Capaldi's swan song, Twice Upon a Time.
I was very close to my grandmother. I can barely remember her face, but I can remember the names of Doctor Who episodes from 2005.
Oh my God. Ed, I was really with you there,
I was getting so emotional.
I was there. I was in the therapy chair with you.
Keep that in.
Ed.
It's an important PSA.
Ed, you need to, seriously, you need to have words.
You got to have words with him.
Good episodes, to be fair.
Yeah, they are.
This one was that you mentioned as well. So the story also isn't the first time the Doctor stood on a landmine.
That's right.
In the genesis of the Daleks.
Yeah.
What Doctor was it?
Tom Baker.
Yeah.
Genesis
the fourth Doctor gets himself in a similar situation on the Daleks' home planet of Skaro.
Mm-hmm.
And also on Skaro, I believe, in the first episode of Series 9, Capaldi's second series, there's like the landmine motif comes back again.
Yeah, it does come back in.
It's swapped with a young Davros having to get saved from the landmines by the Doctor.
Good.
Your chances of survival are about 1 in 1,000. So here's what you do. You forget the 1,000 and you concentrate on the 1. Pick it up! I said! Pick it up!
All right, guys, I am all Easter egged out, okay? We'll do this again next time. But the bit I have been waiting for, super exciting, guys. We've got some time with Russell T Davies to talk about 73 yards.
Ooh. So next episode is 73 Yards, a title I worked out at great length. I literally had to go and stand on Swansea Pier and work out exactly what 73 Yards was to make this story work. That'll make sense when you see it. This is Welsh folk horror coming up with an astonishing cast, lots of Welsh actors in this. Aneurin Barnard, who's tons, very famous, and best of all, Dame Sian Phillips, an extraordinary presence who we've always wanted to be in the show. It's impossible to believe she hasn't been in Doctor Who before, playing Enid. Lots of sinister thrills from her. It's spooky. It's strange. It's genuinely like any other episode we've ever done before. We all found ourselves fascinated by making this. We had to test so much and get so much exactly right. I hope you enjoy it. It's very strange. 73 Yards is very significantly important. Pay attention, I would say, to those scrolls at the beginning. And you might wonder what the message means. Rest in peace, Mad Jack.
Rest in peace, what?
That was
Jack, it
so
sounds
cryptic.
This sounds right up my street.
Oh, yeah. This is
Yeah, absolutely. Do you know what it is, right? He can never reveal too much. And I need more. You know what I'm like, right?
That stressed me
Brilliant.
out.
Imagine if you're Ruby though.
You're a bad guy. No.
Imagine if you're bad guy Ruby and you're like, just seen my first planet, I've been to Castarian.
Gone to Wales.
Where we go next? The Gower.
Yeah.
It's beautiful. I'm so happy to be here.
Yeah.
That's what I'd say.
Yeah, you would.
Rather be here than getting blown up on Castarian 3.
Yeah, I mean, she'd probably actually be quite grateful to be just in Wales.
In Wales, yeah.
Until
something
scrolls,
spooky happens.
I was getting
spooky happens.
It Follows vibes from the teaser.
Yes.
Yeah. I always like my favourites are always the episodes that are a little bit smaller in scale and a little bit tighter.
Yeah, I like
seeing
that.
sort of like, low roofs, local settings. This episode and just the one setting, like almost like a bottle episode, was a really good example of that. And sort of like, Welsh folk horror, Doctor Who sounds absolutely awesome.
Honestly, I can't wait.
See, now the thing is, he can't reveal too much, but we can. So let's take an exclusive sneak peek at what's in store for the next episode.
Oh, yes! We are in Wales! Spectacular!
How can you tell?
Oh, that smell, that green, that coastline, Ruby. Oh, the rocks and the water, it never ends. The war between the land and the sea.
Oh, you know what? I've been to Wales twice. I went to see Shy Girl in Cardiff, and then I went to Mumbles when I was about 16. He's a boy. I think I broke his heart, but there you go.
Bless him. Mind you, Roger at William.
Oh, for goodness sake. Sorry.
I wanted more. See,
I'm hyper-focusing now. My brain's gone all over the place.
What did she just say? She's been there before?
She's been there before. She's been to Wales before. He's on the phone.
I'm Googling something.
Love that for you. Get in the thick of it. She's been there before. She broke her boy's heart, she said.
Because he's got two hearts. I properly, my brain goes into overdrive mode.
Why?
Stressing me out.
He's got two hearts.
Because he's got two hearts. She broke her boy's heart before. She's a bad guy. She's going to break his heart.
Babe, no.
I'm telling you.
That was not a Dr. Dot. That was like the reachiest of reaches.
I'm reaching and I'm telling you, when I get there and she's a bad guy. Go on, Ed, what have you got for us?
Wales is a country in southwest Great Britain.
You think?
Oh, I really thought you were going to give us something. I thought you were checking the forums and, you were looking at...
No, I was just asking my mum what's for tea.
Brilliant.
All right, lads, well, we could speculate all afternoon, okay? But we're not going to do that. You guys can catch loads more behind-the-scenes action from Doctor Who's social media accounts, so go and take a look.
Mm-hmm. So that's it, guys. We're all done.
I'm sad.
I've never been sadder.
No, me too. You look it as well. Guys, can we please make some noise for Edna?
Thanks for having me. Thanks very much.
Thanks you.
Thanks so much for joining us. And remember, everyone, make sure you come straight back here after you've watched 73 Yards. We'll still be here.
We will, in the same clothes. We'll see you later.
Bye.
Don't forget to click below to subscribe to the official Doctor Who YouTube channel.